The interconnected nature of these regional transformations would soon become apparent as diplomatic and economic relationships began forming between nations undergoing similar transitions, creating unexpected partnerships that challenged traditional geopolitical assumptions. The interconnected web of regional power. These developments created ripple effects that extended across national boundaries, revealing how regional transformations could influence neighboring countries facing similar challenges. Protest movements across the Balkans began sharing organizational methods and communication strategies, though each remained focused on domestic concerns specific to their national contexts. Albanian opposition groups studied Serbian coordination techniques during their own anti-corruption demonstrations, adapting digital organizing tools to mobilize supporters across multiple cities simultaneously. Bulgarian activists translated materials about citizen participation methods, establishing neighborhood councils in Sofia that operated independently from traditional political parties. Romanian civil society organizations sent observers to study Serbian assembly procedures, then implemented similar transparency measures in Bucharest community organizations. These exchanges occurred through informal networks rather than official channels, with activists sharing experiences through encrypted messaging platforms and social media groups. Montenegrin protesters adopted Serbian-developed apps for coordinating demonstrations, while North Macedonian opposition movements replicated organizational structures they observed during visits to Belgrade. The spread of these methods demonstrated how successful protest innovations could cross borders rapidly when movements faced comparable challenges with government accountability and corruption. However, the results varied significantly between countries based on local political conditions and government responses. While Serbian protests maintained momentum for months, similar movements in neighboring states achieved mixed outcomes. Some governments successfully co-opted opposition demands through minor reforms, while others used security forces to disperse demonstrations before they could establish permanent organizational structures. The different outcomes highlighted how domestic political contexts ultimately determined whether borrowed organizing methods would prove effective. Syria's reconstruction efforts created economic opportunities that attracted businesses from across the region, generating trade relationships that developed outside traditional diplomatic frameworks. Turkish construction companies leveraged their experience rebuilding southeastern Turkey to compete for Syrian infrastructure contracts, while Ukrainian agricultural equipment manufacturers found new markets among Syrian cooperatives re-establishing food production. These commercial relationships emerged through direct business negotiations rather than government-to-government agreements, demonstrating how economic incentives could drive cooperation between nations with different strategic orientations. Ukrainian intelligence services expanded their cooperation with regional partners as threats evolved beyond traditional state-to-state espionage. The Hungarian spy network discovery prompted enhanced information sharing with NATO allies about similar operations in other border regions. Turkish security officials received Ukrainian intelligence about extremist groups that opposed the PKK peace process and planned attacks to derail integration efforts. This cooperation occurred through existing intelligence channels rather than new formal agreements, showing how shared security concerns could strengthen existing partnerships. Technology platforms enabled coordination between movements and organizations across different countries that recognized common challenges despite varying political contexts. Serbian assembly software provided templates for transparent governance that Syrian local councils adapted for their reconstruction coordination. Ukrainian cybersecurity specialists helped secure communication networks used by Turkish civil society organizations monitoring the peace process. These technological collaborations created interoperable systems that facilitated rapid information sharing without requiring formal international agreements. The informal nature of these connections reflected how rapid political and economic changes could